Good evening, everyone. I quickly want to go over the end of the week recap. So, a lot of things happened this week, and we can see I outlined that inverse head and shoulder on odd cat that is playing out nicely together with New Zealand cat in the last outlook video for the members. This one, a really good one, New Zealand dollar. Some people took New Zealand dollar also, inverse head and shoulder. So that's the first thing. Really clean price action across the board. Cat Swiss showed this one on my IG today, I believe. Quickly want to go over it. This is still sitting at that 3-month, monthly, weekly and daily supply area. However, no clean new supply areas here, so it's more a discretionary setup to the downside. We did tap into the 382 retracement already. Might go to that 0.618 retracement down here and line up with this trend line. If you are in this position, let me quickly go there. You can see there was a really nice entry here, quick break and retest of the 1 hour 50 EMA. We did go for a retest of this trend line, which is pretty normal retest of this trend line on the 4 hour time frame. Nice rejection here, a big 4 hour trap on the 4 hour 50 EMA with this big push to the upside, and then a big push to the downside followed. So really nice price action, really clear. Cat Yen is the other one. So this one is sitting at weekly supply, monthly supply, a bit of monthly supply and weekly supply. I'm expecting here a push to the downside. However, the higher time frames are extremely bullish. So long term, I see this one push to the upside. We didn't complete 0.27 retracement yet after the 618, so we might go there. So I recommend having your stops above this line here if you're already positioned. Otherwise, maybe wait for the 0.27 being reached, quick spike through the supply area, and then the bigger push to the downside. So that is more or less what I expect for Cat Yen. So tomorrow, not looking to do much in the markets, just see if price is decelerating in the zones at our entry areas and see and watch from there. Dollar index, outlined this one a lot, the faith of the dollar. If you haven't seen that IGTV video I did a couple weeks back outlining this potential short from the top here, the target is of course 0.618 retracement and 0.75, so that's this area here, these two lines. This area is my reversal area, so I will close all my dollar positions around this area because I expect a push higher from there. Why is that? Well, we had this weekly correction, push to the downside 0.618 retracement into a weekly correction to a 0.618 retracement, and now we had this weekly correction, and then now we go to that 0.618 retracement, maybe go to this trend line a bit further, and that would be nice because then we can slightly hold our positions a bit longer and capitalize on a bit of more pips. So that's the dollar euro Swiss. So this is a pair I don't like to trade, to be honest, because it is so choppy. However, the monthly is sitting at supply, the weekly is sitting at supply, and if I zoom into the daily time frame, you can see today closed is likely to close as this star formation, big push to the upside, trapping a lot of people, filling up supply here, and therefore we have monthly, weekly, daily supply looking really good there. And if we go to the Euro Swiss chart, we can see a really choppy price action. However, now we are seeing this break and retest of this area. There might be a short opportunity here. Normally I always do take my trades with order placement, so if this is a valid setup, I have an order here, stop loss around these levels, and then just wait till I get triggered and see how I can manage the position the best way. However, for this pair, it is so unclear. I'm not looking to enter tomorrow because it is Friday. I don't like to enter these type of positions on a Friday. Bit too choppy at this moment of time, but if you like Euro Swiss, if you tested it, this is a valid setup to take to the downside. Euro Yen, next one. So for the members, if you watched a couple weeks back, we were looking for this long opportunity at this 618 and 0.75 retracement. Well, like I teach everyone here on IG also, first target then is 0.27, which lines up with the supply area, and that's being reached. Tomorrow maybe some deceleration here, but we are sitting at weekly and daily supply together with the trend line formation, so therefore we might see some deceleration, and it is on watch to take a short-term pullback to the downside. The 4 hour chart here is really overextended. The 1 hour is a bit choppy, so let's see if we can get a break down tomorrow and enter maybe on Tuesday next week. Euro New Zealand, called this one out that I was watching for a short opportunity. Well, a couple hours later, the break and retest of the 1 hour 50 EMA was fulfilled. Stop loss at the normal stop loss area that we always use. And yeah, why was this a nice setup? Let me explain. Quickly going to the monthly still sitting at this monthly supply area, which broke the monthly trend line. Now going for this left shoulder, head, right shoulder pattern. On the weekly time frame, we can draw in our fib levels. Has been rejecting 0.75 4 times now, so looks a bit bearish, and the daily time frame is creating that fourth rejection here and almost filled up this supply area. So pretty good setup here. A bit discretionary, not like the best or most beautiful setup, but still pretty good. Euro Aussie was also a really good choice. If you took that one from supply, nice third touch also on the daily time frame, 1, 2, 3. You can draw in the trend line. Really clean price action here. And yeah, looks like it wants to break to the downside here. We might close as this daily star formation, push up, deceleration, push down, and then maybe break this trend line tomorrow or next week and see if we can see more downside on the weekly. We had a perfect fill of 0.618 and 0.75, and then maybe long term we push to the downside. And yeah, really nice setup there. If you caught your Aussie, got a DM today, someone took it and wanted my explanation. Well, here is it. And then last one was Euro Pound. Not much to do there. Pound pairs are really choppy. Euro Yen covered, Euro New Zealand covered, Euro Dollar. Just want to cover the daily time frame only. So I have an alert at 1.11, see what intradays do there. But I'm waiting till we reach 1.12.1, which is the full retracement of this whole leg, this whole trend, and it is also some kind of level of supply and a lot of confidence points overall lining up here from the intraday levels. So I see 1.12 being reached, and that is the area I want to take my profits from the euro dollar longs, and the DXY will then reach that reversal zone I explained before. So that is euro dollar. If it pulls back, this is new daily demand being created. Why? Because we took out this area here. And if it pulls back, this is a nice area to look out for to take longs unless we first reach 1.12 and then see pullback here. I'm not that happy to take longs from. However, if we see a pullback tomorrow and maybe Monday and we reach this area, I will look for more longs to take this one higher to 1.12. Pound pairs, quickly want to go over the pound pairs. Really choppy due to Brexit. However, this looks like a really nice short setup. Monthly, weekly and daily supply, and monthly 0.618 retracement and weekly 0.618 retracement of this whole trend. So we might see some deceleration and downside on overall all the pound pairs. Pound Swiss, exactly the same thing. Third touch, supply, and monthly 618 retracement. Pound Yen, similar story. Pound New Zealand, similar story. So looking for pound shorts. However, due to Brexit, I don't want to position myself right now tomorrow in the markets, because you never know what happens with Brexit news over the weekends. So I don't want to have that gap risk. So patience will pay here. Wait until maybe even Tuesday to let the market settle a bit and see if you can take a short position then. Otherwise, you might be trapped in the wrong side of the markets, and especially over the weekends, everything can happen. And yeah, guys, that's it for me. Gold is the last one I quickly want to cover. I'm looking for small scale in position, so I'm still long from these lows here from this trend line. Currently rejected again and created this head, left shoulder, head, right shoulder price action pattern. If we go to the gold charts, on the intraday charts, I am watching for a high risk long position around this level for tomorrow. So I'm looking for longs from this area, 1 hour 50 EMA, trend line 0.618, and see if I can open a position long term to get that longer term gold trend going. It's a bit of high risk because on the daily time frame we might break to the downside here, because we are in this daily bearish trend. High, lower high, lower high, lower low, and potential lower high here, and I'm going for this lower low. And we of course still have this daily FIP in play, which the target is 1440, and I'm looking for longs from this area. So this is a high risk long opportunity on the intraday charts to see if this head and shoulder plays out and I can build my long position. However, if it fails and it stops me out also on the longer term position for break even, I will be watching for longs from this demand area and then see do the same thing, build a longer term long position until the end of the year, until January, February of next year. So that's my overall game plan for gold. We'll cover that a lot more in detail soon. And yeah, guys, I speak to you guys